Hey there, instead of a blog post today, you get a blog video. So, I wanted to just share some of the things that I am enjoying right now at this point in time in my life and in my business. So, I'll start off with books. One is Book Yourself Solid by Michael Port. It's a really good read, and it's sad to say it's been sitting on my shelf for a little bit, but I've just started to dig into it. There's a workbook that comes with it you have to download and print out, but it is super helpful. And really, it's about the fastest, easiest, and most reliable system for getting more clients than you can handle, even if you hate marketing and selling. And for those that know me, I don't necessarily hate marketing. It's just not something that is at the top of my list of fun things to do. So I'll share that. And it's a really good book, though. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Um, and make sure to download the workbook because they really need to work through the workbook when you're going through the book. Another one that I'm listening to, this one's an Audible, is A World Without Email by Cal Newport. And the interesting thing about that is the title is a bit deceiving, okay? Because he's not actually advocating for doing away completely with email. It's really about how we utilize email and how email has taken on this different life form, basically, in many businesses and in our lives. But it's a good it if you don't know, he's a professor, I believe, at Georgetown, but he had a book, Deep Work, and just that resonates so much with me about being able to dive in and have that white space. And so it's really looking at how we can utilize email in a way that we still are having space in our days in order to do things that need to be done and everything of that sort. So sorry for the background noise. In addition to that, it's really just how we utilize it, which is super helpful. I just finished on Audible Blue Ocean Strategy. Loved it. It's a great read, listen to. It's definitely doable as an audiobook, so definitely check that out. And just a thought process change in terms of, I know a lot of us in a service-based industry feel that we are pretty similar to one another. So it's a really great listen to and take those concepts to really think about what does it look like to possibly show up differently? What is that thing that you either do different than someone else? What you kind of bring in as your secret sauce that makes you different than others? I would definitely recommend it as a listen. It's a really good book. So now let's move on to podcasts. So, podcasts that I have been enjoying. Let me see here if I can. So, the first one is called Second in Command. Let me see. I'm trying to do two things at once because my husband is talking too much down the hall. I'm recording. Please close the door. Thanks. Um, So, at any rate, podcasts. The first one is Second in Command by Cameron Harold, which is a really good listen for those that are in the DOO, fractional COO space. And you really come to realize that even large businesses that 700 employees plus have some of the same issues that smaller teams have as well. So, listening to how these COOs, chief operating officers, work through the different budgetary, personnel, HR related issues in their company, changes, creating company culture, so many different things is a fascinating listen. And I just highly recommend that podcast if you are in that kind of space because it really gives a good insight as to what things look like at a larger scale and how you can actually utilize that at a smaller scale. The other is Marketing for Coaches with I don't have his name listed, so This is The Joy of with Matthew Kimberly. So it literally also has a book yourself solid kind of feel to it. But it's really helpful, really short, and it's from the UK. So if you enjoy British accents and British words, so sometimes it's a hackney was one of the words we used today. But it's a super good, quick listens, less than 20 minutes, but really helpful topics. And he gives you some really good thoughts as it relates to marketing. And then another one is actually Negotiate Anything with Kwame Christian. He's a lawyer and he's associated with, I don't remember, a program. I don't know if it's Northwestern or someone else in the US. But it's really an interesting podcast, really on negotiation and what that looks like in the different forms that it can take in the workplace and elsewhere in life. So, Negotiate Anything is the third podcast I'd recommend. So, now let's talk about tools. All right. So, one of the tools that I'm so still in love with is my wall post-it notes. I'm a big literally marker girl. Let me see if I can show you. I like markers. So I can get up there and just kind of go to town, mind map, draw out, sketch out things. So I still love my wall post-it notes. I'm also loving, I did the thing and made the investment into one of these remarkable, I don't know. Yeah. So it's a Remarkable 2. And so literally I have my notes on there and it's, you can PDF it out or import PDFs and write on them. And I'm still figuring it all out, but I'm absolutely loving it so far because I'm a big writer person. I so believe in that connection between our brain and writing and how that really cements ideas and our thoughts. And so, yes, I'm enjoying that as well. And so those are my 2 tools that I'm sharing. And lastly, let's talk a little bit about self-care because it wouldn't be right as entrepreneurs if we did not also focus on what we're doing for ourselves. And for me, I've joined a club Pilates. A couple from my old church own it. And I've been going 4 to 5 times a week. I went this morning for a 6 a.m. class and I feel amazing. So just that getting active again. And, in light of COVID, my community gym center place closed and it was brand new. It had this amazing pool and indoor track and weights and classes. And I was so looking forward to just full on diving in, loving every ounce of that place, every inch of it. And it started to reopen, but just because of COVID, the restrictions are pre-book and 2-hour slots. So it's 2 hours for the gym, then 2 hours for the pool. I don't need to be there for 4 hours. I can do my workout and get in a couple of laps in the 2-hour time frame. So that made it a really, it just was cumbersome to just engage in that process. So I found myself not doing it, resorting back to just walking. But I knew I needed something more than that. So I went to an intro Pilates class and then I signed up. And for those that don't know, I have never been a morning person. Never. I get up if I have to, but it was not a big, I would prefer to do things at night. So this has really been a habit shifter for me because in order to enjoy the 6 a.m. or the 7 a.m. class, I have to get up and drive there. So I literally have to get up and that means I have to go to bed earlier so that I get my rest so that I can get up. Yeah, it's been interesting. My family is like, are you feeling okay? Because there are times I'm in bed by 10 p.m. In the bed, not watching anything, not trying to do anything on my iPad, on my phone or anything, in the bed. So it's been a wonderful, body experience and feeling great and everything, but it's also been a great habit changer for me. Having money attached to that. And if you're late, there's an additional fee or things of that sort. Yo, that is straight motivation to get out of the bed. So I've been getting out of the bed and going to Pilates, absolutely loving it. And then the second thing that I've been loving in the self care area is hungryharvest.com. I have a huge garden. My husband's been putting things out there, and I'm like, babe, I am not going out there all summer this year. Like, the kids are going to be leaving for school. We don't eat that much. He's like, we're just going to feed the neighborhood. I'm like, the neighborhood need to come and do some gardening then, because, there's weeding, there's watering, all the things, tending to my plants. So, Hungry Harvest, though, it's really about reducing food waste, and it redirects those items that may have been too small, too bruised, or too whatever, too much for the grocery store. And you can customize a box, and you can have it delivered once a month, once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever your cadence is for your life. And in the size, I think it's 2 people, 4 people. And there's like a large, you can do organic, not organic. Anywho, hungryharvest.com. I've been so enjoying it because it's making sure that I have more fruits and vegetables, in the house, and that we're eating them. And also sometimes some things that we wouldn't normally eat. So in our last box, there was some jicama. So I'm going to do some jicama fries. But it also has led to me doing more juicing and just eating more vegetables and really trying to be really focused on that. So just really those self-care and just feeding our body with the good stuff that it needs. So those are some things that I have been enjoying. Those are some things that I have enjoyed reading, listening to, using, as well as taking care of me. So I hope that everyone enjoyed this. We'll have another blog post in 2 weeks. So thank you so much. Bye, guys.